Hey YouTubers, Grimmy here with a video review for the Mastershooter Collectables. Well, for lack of the better word, Targetmasters. We got Minutebot, aka Haywire, Bolt Action, aka Firebolt, Shot Piece, aka Recoil, and Broomstick, aka Fracas. And obviously the names are just because they can't use the official names because these are third-party toys. But they are pretty nice figures, and Shot Piece is pretty amusing as far when you think about where the name came from. Hopefully I actually remember to post a link to the video that I'm sure inspired it. But yeah, the names are okay. You know, not a big deal. I'm probably just going to be referring to them as the characters that they homage, or who they're meant to be. But anyway, let's get down to it. Each one is a nice sculpt, colored very basic, designed to be just like the G1 Targetmasters. Here we got Haywire, and let's just take a look at the articulation real quick. We've got a ball jointed head, so you can get some, we'll just zoom in a little bit better. Yeah, you got a ball jointed head, so you can move a little bit, turn left and right. Joints are very tight on these guys, and sometimes it scares me because they might break, at least, but nothing's broken yet. But you got ball jointed shoulder, ball jointed elbow, very stiff ball jointed hips, and ball jointed knees. So these guys are pretty well articulated, and they work pretty nicely. Each one has the same articulation, and it does feel like there's a good bit of part swap in here among them. At least with some pieces. But anyway, the Firebolt and Fracas figures actually have accessories along with them, which are these little weapons. Oh, it'd help if I actually put it in camera, wouldn't it? Like in Firebolt's case, this little crossbow thing, and they just kind of clip in. Nice thing is each character, each figure has the same hand, so it'll work with any of them. Yeah, and Fracas actually has a little chainsaw hand, so that's pretty nice. Now for transformation, all you do is twist the head, and the transformation is pretty much the same for all of them. Rotate the legs forward. And peg the, there's some pegs on the inside of each arm, inside of each hand that that will peg right into the hole on the side of the hip. So sometimes a little tricky to line up the hip to get it right, but once you do, you have a nice little gun. And another accessory that they come with is this little adapter piece that goes right onto the clip that's inside on the inner side. Now the clip is here for Scourge and Cup, who can actually use that clip to attach the weapon to their vehicle modes. And as you can see, it goes on pretty nicely. And it's no less intrusive than what the original G1 toys were, which is pretty good. Now unfortunately this little feature is only good for Cup and Scourge. Hot Rod and Blurr unfortunately do not have any clipping points or peg holes. Although with Hot Rod, if you get the United version of Rodimus Prime, there is a peg on the front engine that you can put Firebolt onto. Unfortunately, all I got is the Battle in Space up on Rodimus. But oh well. In any case, why don't we get these guys and get our big robots into robot mode and be right back. Okay, now we got these guys transformed and holding their weapons, except for Hot Rod, and there's a special reason behind that. As you can see, these new Targetroids or Targetmasters, whatever you want to call them, fit right into any 5mm peg spot. Given the nature of Blurr's hand, it's a little trickier, but you can actually use the adapter piece to like friction itself against his fist to give him a tighter hold on it. So he can hold it pretty well. But all the other characters, that peg fits snugly in their hand. It's a little small, but it works. But anyway, before we actually get to transforming Firebolt and getting him into Hot Rod's hand, I'm going to go over a couple things. First of all, it's going to be a quick comparison with G1 Firebolt. As you can see, they're actually designed pretty well with each other. Bolt action is a little bit taller than Firebolt, but works pretty well. Another important comparison is Universe Nightstick, who, as you can see, is about the same height as Bolt Action, but a little bit smaller of a head. But yeah, they do go well together. Get the G1 Firebolt out of the way. Put in Sidearm, the Fans Project version of Firebolt, who is a very nice representation of the character. but is a little bit hard for a hot rod to hold. And bolt action here is even more articulated than sidearm. And we'll take these away for just one more quick comparison with a power core combiner Minicon and an arms micron. As you can see, he's actually pretty well in scale with these two kind of figures. So that works pretty well for him. But, you know, without further ado, let's get him transformed and onto Hot Rod. Now, since Firebolt pretty much, or yeah, bolt action pretty much shares the same legs as Broomstick, but they actually inverse the knees. But you can actually switch it back easily by turning them around. And this is actually the way they come packaged. And the way the feet are designed, you can actually have this as his normal front leg if you want, because the joints work just fine like this. I just prefer to turn it around because I like the fuller, like shin, as opposed to like the hole here, even though that is pretty accurate to the G1 toy. But other than that, yeah, it's the same. And here we got Firebolt in his gun form. And this little adapter piece is for if you want to put it on like a regular Targetmaster type hot rod. But for a quick comparison, here's G1 and here's the Mastershooter Collectables version. As you can see, they go pretty well together. They look pretty close to each other. But anyway, let's get them onto Hot Rod. Oops. First, let's get this angled right. I'm probably ranting a little bit more than I should, but whatever. Since Hot Rod has the smaller hand, there is a little bit of a smaller peg on top of the larger peg, so that it'll fit into Hot Rod's hand just fine. And there you go. And just for a one last quick comparison, we'll get sidearm in his gun mode, and just slide him on. And as you can see, sidearm is a little trickier to get onto Hot Rod's hand than the bolt action figure. But yeah, other than that, they're both pretty good. Let's get a good group shot of the guys holding their Targetmaster weapons. I think they're all really nice. I like them. And considering that they're only like, I don't know, between $13 and $15 a piece, I'd say they're highly recommendable. So anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this little review, and I'll see you another day. Take care, bye-bye, and have fun.